What's going on, everybody? You're now tuned into the Re-Up podcast. Alongside Hector, we have two special guests with us today. Both are part of a music label known as CRE8ERS, and I've just released the label's first EP named CRE8ERS Volume 1. Let's welcome to the show LXD and Nikko Blanco. What's going on, guys? What's up, guys? How's it going?
Awesome. My songs.
All right, first of all, congrats on the EP, by the way. It's a super solid piece of work. I thought it was really cool. And that's something for everybody. And so what we're going to do today is that today's going to be like a special type of episode. I'm really glad you guys are joining us for this one. Today's going to be our first project/album review. So we're pretty much going to go through every single song. We're going to ask you guys what you guys thought about the whole experience. Each song is different, of course. So we'll go through what was going through your minds, why you put certain songs in certain orders, and pretty much just kind of like let you guys take over and explain word for word the whole project you guys created. But first of all, before we go into that, I'm going to ask you guys a couple questions. So we've had the pleasure of having LXD on the show and getting to know him personally off camera. But Nikko, tell us about your upbringing, since we don't know you that well as an artist, and anything else listeners should know about you off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I was born in the Bronx, but I was moved out here when I was 4 or 5, around there, in between that middle age. And I was raised out here in South Florida. I stayed in Hollywood for a little bit. Then, where I live at now, we moved to Port St. Lucie. So basically, I just grew up out here in Florida. You know what I mean? But a lot of my inspiration from music, though, I have a lot of diverse range, influences, not just from rap, but just from like a lot of just old school music from back in the day with my mom and dad. But just mainly just grew up listening with my cousins. Since I'm the only child, I never had brothers. I don't have no brothers and sisters. So listen to my cousins. It's like Wu-Tang Clan, Biggie. You know what I'm saying? Like, a whole bunch of like Big Daddy Kane, a whole bunch of like old school hip hop and stuff like that is really what really is where my main influence of music comes from. So you can hear that in my music with just like that in your face wordplay, like that witty lyricism.
Was it kind of hard, like searching your identity, being that there were so many genres that you kind of went through within your life?
Yeah, I mean, especially too because like I don't really, you don't really hear it in my music a lot. But I used to skateboard and stuff like that back in the day, and chilling with that type of crowd and stuff, and listening to like rock music and like heavy metal and stuff like that. So, like even my of like classic rock, you know what I'm saying? So even when I'm not listening to rap music and stuff like that, I like, when it comes to like melodies or even just like the feeling of like songs and stuff, I like to tap into like, oldies music and like, classic rock and like stuff like that. Like I have like I said, it's a diverse influence. So it's like, you may not hear it all in my music, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that definitely plays a part as when I'm like, thinking about what I want to do for a song or what I want to evoke in a song, and especially just now experimenting with melodies and stuff because, LXD, working with him and stuff like that, putting me onto that. It's been even all opening more. So, I'm just trying to incorporate, if I ever want to do a song on some boom bap stuff, then I'll even tap into that. On some just trap East Coast stuff, I'll tap into that. And if I ever want to do, like, I haven't done it yet, but like alternative music or like anything like that mixed with a little bit of rap too, like that's something I got in the arsenal, but that's honestly going to showcase like where my influences, come from.
Got you. So how do you and LXD first link up?
Man, it goes back, man. Honestly, the funny thing was, he could even tell you, but I went to a different high school because we have like, we have the main schools out here was like Treasure Coast, Fort Pierce Central, PSL, High School, and Centennial. So I went to a middle school that everybody went to, and then I didn't go to the high school that he went to. So I was kind of like on the other side of town from everybody. So I just knew him. I met him through my two boys that I grew up with that went to PSL, that they became with him. So then I would just see him around like house parties, around the city and stuff like that. And they would just be like, yo, this is my boy Nikko, stuff like that. I was like, oh, what's good, man? So we just always kept it mutual. We never chilled really like one-on-one, heavy, like, like all the time. It was always, every time I see him somewhere, it was always like, yo, what's good, bro? Like always love, no matter what. So that's how we met. And we just kept it always, like I said, casual, mutual. And then honestly, we clicked up, I think around the time when I first got off of Papers the first time, right, at the studio. At Social Studio, we linked up, right, bro? Yeah, so he was there, and we were just chilling. And then I wound up getting locked up again, and I was in there for like 5 months. And then when I got out, I hit him up, and that's how we just really solidified our friendship and our relationship. Is when I got home, I hit him up. I'm like, yo, what's good? I've been down for a little bit. He told me he was down for a little bit, and then we just started. That's how CRE8ERS came about, man. Just from there.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It was actually pretty funny because when we met up in that studio, like March 2017, and then like I think I remember like I was locked up for a little bit in 17, And it was after I met up with him. And then so when I got out, I was like, yo, like I was like in contact with him. So when I got out, I contacted him again, and he told me he was in the same predicament I was in. Like we both had just got out at the same time. So I was like, yo, you know, that's kind of weird. Like, you know, like how we were talking about in my interview, when people are just thrown like in the same situation as you, and just like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that. Weird that somebody seriously went through the same thing that I went through, and we both rap and kind of have like the same view towards life and shit.
Yeah, there was more in common beyond the music right off the bat.
Yeah, of course. Like the relationship we had was like, he was like my best friend's best friend. You know, when like it's like
okay.
Yeah, like that. So we never really clicked up. Like I remember one time I had a freestyle set and we killed that. So right then and there, we always had that music. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We already listened to music. We just weren't friends ourselves. But when you would see him, you know, when you see somebody like, oh, you,
yeah.
Like
It's that universal element, bro.
Exactly.
I know exactly what y'all talking about. But I wanted to ask you, Nikko. You just said that being in the South, you know, and just in general, some of your inspirations, you know, you mentioned Big Daddy Kane, and that's funny because you guys wound up making this group CRE8ERS, and it's funny, Big Daddy Kane wound up, you know, finding Jay-Z, and the rest is history, Rockefeller, and then you know you growing up and being in the South, you know, you talked about groups. Did any groups like, let's say, Outkast, over in the West, you know, you have NWA, you know, groups like that for you both? You guys is like that. Would you say influenced the way your music sounds now?
For me personally, I would say, because like I said, I know LA, you know what I'm saying, like he's in tune with music and old school influences as well, you know, and stuff like that. So I mean, I'm definitely familiar with NWA. I went through a phase where I was listening to nothing but the West Coast NWA. I love the culture, like how they came out the hood, did something that something that they do, and they stayed true to themselves, you know. And basically, it's funny that you mentioned that, because now when I look back in retrospect, kind of in a sense, like, you know, we're not no gang banging, we're not out there trapping and stuff like that, but with the whole, like, you know, anti-government type shit, and like, you know, being labeled as like some you know, because everybody has that stigma around rappers that they're like, oh, all y'all do is just sell weed, smoke weed, you know, get fucked up, and just, you know, you just rap in the studio. But
that stereotype, right?
Exactly, and they wanted to showcase that they were, that, you know what I'm saying, that they wanted to bring their real life hood shit into music to let people know about the oppression and everything. So now when it comes to us, I feel like we do kind of have little remnants of that, of these groups and stuff like that, and like Outkast with like the diversity and like,
right,
they were different, you know what I'm saying? But like with the whole moral code of like NWA, Outkast, you know, even just with you know, Bone Thugs and Harmony too, was my shit too, you know what I'm saying?
That's great.
So I feel like that definitely we're trying to build up to that, but still be ourselves. You know what I mean?
I hear that. I mean, for the most part, I remember when I was at that interview with LXD, and I remember him telling Mateo in that interview that he was inspired by the mob, and growing up in the Bronx, you know, being from Castle Hill Projects, you know, like that's a big deal. Like he loved the way the mob moved. Like it represented a lot to him. So, and he could relate. So would you say, Nikko, that the mob also, like that me being from Harlem, I know the effect that they had, but that movement that they have even going on till today, would you say that also played a huge role for y'all?
I would say, especially because, you know, it's not just me. So it's also whatever influences that he has that are like subconsciously imprinted onto me, right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I can see that, like that unity, like that family, you know what I'm saying? And I can definitely see like that his influences has rubbed off and vice versa, you know what I mean? So I would definitely say, I would agree with that for sure.
Okay.
All right, so Nikko, you actually have a quote when it comes to describing the CRE8ERS Volume 1. You said that the meaning behind the project is vibes, personality, and versatility. Now, why don't you break that quote down exactly? What type of vibes, personality, and versatility are specifically shown on the EP?
I mean, my boy LXD posted up on the Instagram, and he basically put the whole track list in and just showed genres and just put rap, pop, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So when I made that quote, you know, it was basically, you know, the way I feel personally about myself and about us is that we are the vibe. You feel me? Like, we are the vibe. So whatever we put on a track is our vibe. You feel me? Like, so I just felt like with the 7 tracks that we gave everybody, you know, and we recorded over time, like it wasn't like we started with a theme. It was literally like the songs that you heard on there were the songs that like the niggas just, you know, just caught the vibe for, that we heard this shit and we were like, yo, we're fucking with this and we're gonna lay this down. You know what I mean? So we just stuck with that, and we weren't coming with a specific theme like, yo, we're gonna do all rap, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that. It was literally like, no, we're gonna mix it up and just show it, you know, what it is to be the vibe. So when niggas hear our songs and everybody hears our songs, like they exactly like, you know, we got a lot of feet. They were like, yo, every song had their own vibe. And that right there, that's if I hear that, I don't even care about the streams. I don't even care about all that. Like just the fact that people were able to define that and feel that vibe and know that what we were doing with us even really pinpointing it like that and promoting it like that, that right there is that we made, you know, mission accomplished right there, man, for sure.
So the point of the EP wasn't to, you know, have this great start with numbers and, you know, win all these awards and get like, you know, on a top 10 lists, and like all these type of industry lists and all these industry accolades that a lot of rappers nowadays really seem to kind of put on a pedestal over making quality music. So for you guys, was it kind of like the opposite? Was it more of like, you know, let's just, you know, go in a booth and create something that makes us happy more than just making everybody else happy?
Yeah, I mean, just like if you guys heard, you know, LXD's music and stuff like that, and then like, you know, I only had one project out, so I felt it was literally just be ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like do what we do. And on our individual platforms, we already got a lot of people who, you know, who are jacking our music and they're really digging like what we're doing. So I just felt that now that we're starting to make creators a bigger name now, let's just combine both and just show everybody that even though we're all individual, you know what I'm saying? Like as artists and creators, that we're all individual with our own sound, but that we're able to work together and like, you know, produce a project and collaborate where it still is going to sound good, but like we're not trying to, you know,
blend in.
Like you said, like like the mainstream, like, you know, you're going to hear some influences, obviously, because, you know, the beat choices and just like, you know, you're going to hear it's going to be up-to-date beats and just stuff like that. But we wanted, like you said, blend in. We're just trying to, you know, show everybody that we're different. We're not about the clout, you know, that we're not about trying to make music, you know, just the fans and the people who listen. Like, we want to show y'all us. Right. So if y'all fucking with the music, then that means y'all fuck with us. You know,
and that's interesting you say that, Nikko, because a lot of the musicians and artists that so far we've interviewed so far this year, they kind of say something so similar to what you're saying right now. They make their music off of their mood, and I think that's a generational thing right now. That's the thing that's going on right now. So it's kind of like a funny thing. You guys differentiate yourselves from the pack. You're not trying to be like everyone else, and that's what a lot of the artists that have come on the podcast have said. We're not trying to sound like anybody else. Of course, there's gonna be people influence you, and you have those sounds that you hear, and you're like, damn, who's that? But for the most part, I like that you said that because that's a generational thing for me. Anyways, I feel like a lot of artists right now, they're not making and they're not going in the studio. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna talk about. Nah, they go off what they hear. Boom, right there hits them. I'm gonna rap about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, like they'd be like, oh well, this person did this, so I'm gonna do this. It's not like
right.
So we do stuff because we want to make a change in other people. So like, we make music. Like personally, I make music about like my hardships in my life because I want people to hear it and for them to be like, oh shit, well like that was happening to him and he made it out. So, like,
I hear that. Right. Would you say Nikko and LXD, would y'all say, bro, that being in the can, like being in jail in general, that motivated you guys to not so much because you guys said it. When we wound up getting out, you know, we had the same vision. We had almost like the same paths that we were going towards. And we had this idea and this concept, but when you both got together, you guys said, fuck it, let's go for it. So would you say in a sense that for both of y'all, jail in a sense recreated y'all and woke y'all up to like, we want to pursue this?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, bro, like again, you know, everybody's jail time is different. You know what I'm saying? So you're already in a place where they don't want you to be happy, where they don't want you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it really comes down to how you do your time. And I just find it funny, like how you said earlier, how it's like a universal, you know, connection. It was just funny how the connection from what we had from the years back in high school, and not knowing that we both were locked up at the same time. And then when we came back, it was just like, it just shows that like how alike we are. Because what I did for my time is I took that as a time to be like, okay, bro, like this is your second time being locked up. Now you're in here for a little bit longer. Like, how are you going to utilize your time to, you know, to turn this negative experience to a positive experience? So that's another thing, is that you hear a lot of our music, like a lot of like, you know, spiritual references, like a lot of conscious stuff, because that's us, that's me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we want to, you know, portray to, you know, showcase to everybody, that it's like, it's cool to be conscious. It's cool to be, you know, to be awakened, bro, to everything that's going on. And again, that comes back to not trying to be the same of constantly talking about drug references, like all about the money, all about this, recent hardships, like showing everybody that, yo, like I was down on my dick too. And when you're listening to it, you could be in that situation too. And that you can make it out too. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get out of that dark place just like we did, you know?
I hear that.
All right, perfect. So that's pretty much a really good intro to like what we're about to do right now. So let's dive into each song by starting with the first track, which is Y&D, which stands for Young and Dangerous. What can you both tell us about the song? Because I think it's a great intro song.
Well, that song is dope. We chose that song to be first because I'm pretty sure, 100% sure, that was the first song that we did together.
Really?
Okay.
Oh wow.
You know, like we were probably working. The timeline is, after I got out of jail in 2017, like August, I got out in August 17, and it hit me with the idea to start making creative. So that I made it, and so I had just launched like CRE8ERS and then left. So a lot of people who were in the first, you know what I'm saying, the first group of it, were like, everybody like lost faith, because I guess they didn't think that I was going to be successful in the most successful city of New York in the country. So, you know, then I came up here. So I would say like pretty much for like all of for the end of 2017 and 2018, like me and Nikko really didn't work on music together. It was more like the business, and then like just figuring out what we wanted to do, our identity and stuff. And then finally, like in the middle of 2018, he sent me a track, and it was Young and Dangerous. And then I recorded that, and then, you know, I just held on to my lyrics for so long until I went over there and recorded it myself.
Yeah.
And I recorded it in January 19th.
Yeah, because that was actually, like you said, that was like the first collab song we did, because that was when I first started like recording at home, when I got my studio, when I got everything, and I just like heard that beat, dude, and then, like I was just like, yo, it just came on me. Like I said, the vibe just came, you know, Young and Dangerous. So like I remember like I sent it to him, and he was like, yo, that's hard, I want to get on that. And then like we were just talking about like, yo, this is the song. And people don't even know. They hear that now. They don't even know that song is like almost 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think it's probably some like fresh shit like out right now. But we've been sitting on that, waiting for the right time, dude. So like, just because of how long it took us, you know, how long we sat on that, we just, like I said, we just thought it was really fitting for us to just put that as an intro track, to be honest.
So in a sense, that track in itself, but the group and this project was a long time coming. Like this whole effort in general was a long time coming. I want to ask you, LXD. In general, actually for both of you, you and Nikko, when you guys recorded that, what would you say the work ethic was like? Because you have this idea, I want to work with that artist. I feel like if we have a track together, it would be a banger, but it doesn't work out all the time. You know, it's almost like a friend. So we would be killer together, but it don't work out. So what would you say? Did you know from the start and the jump, this is going to work out?
Yeah, because like Nikko sent over the song. As soon as he sent over the song and I hear that beginning, like the I was just like, you know, and me knowing my friends too, because like Nikko comes, you know what I'm saying? He comes right. So hearing that dark beat, and then just hearing like the anger he had put into that song and shit, and me being a person who has a lot of anger in my life, I knew it would be a perfect moment for me to, like, you know, because I make music to get rid of my feelings.
Right.
So I knew it would be a good song for me to release a lot of shit, and then yeah. So pretty much like the energy with that, I had went to Florida just to go meet with creators on a regularly quarterly meeting. And then we were in the studio, and it was straight to business. We knew what was going on. As soon as he sent me the song, I knew what it could be. So it was just
right.
And that's pretty much how it is always. Like, people send me a song, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm on it, because we just know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he knows what I want, I know what he likes, and then like it's like different, like, because we're not the only artists and creators either. So it's just like it's just like different, like when you really like listen to a song and you understand what the artist is trying to help him, not worry like, okay, well, you got your verse and I got mine. Like, nah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, because he definitely gave me he definitely gave me feedback on it, because I remember like that was around the time when I was just finding my sound like on the mic, like just because I've been rapping for a while, but I just never put music out. So this is my first time actually recording home, having my own vocals, like everything. So like I remember when I first sent him the first draft, he was like, "Yo, that's hard. I like it. I like the idea." Like I had the whole structure laid out, and he was just like, "Yo, but I feel like you can go harder, like on this part, like when the Young and Dangerous shit, like come out more like heavy, because I didn't do it soft, but like he's like, yo, I want to hear more like grittiness." So like even that was like, like you said, it wasn't just, oh yeah, bro, so I'm gonna go lay my verse down. Like it was like, nah, bro, like I'm gonna lay my verse down on this. So we're about to literally, like, I'm trying to turn up on this shit too. So like we gotta, we gotta try it like this. And then I sent him that draft and did it better, and with like more energy, like a more like what I was really like, yo, really feel like that, like Young and Dangerous, bro. So like that was it, man. And then like when he came to the stew, we already knew. It's like he said, we already knew what time it was. It was just a matter of time of linking. You know what I mean?
Right.
And at that time, that was, like I said, that track, bro, that was before I even started mixing anything. Like I just laid it down, thought I was putting little plugins on it. It's an album, and like what the final product, it was like, yo, so like this is like we were ahead of our time. Like we knew then, and he even said it in his own words. He was like, "Nah, we're not dropping this right now. Like we're gonna know when we're gonna be able to drop
saving it."
You know
right.
what I'm saying? We just didn't know when. So we knew that was definitely gonna be. And then when we started talking about Creators Volume 1, we were like, yo, that song, we're definitely pulling it out of the archive, definitely putting it on there for sure.
All right, definitely.
When you guys get in the studio real quick, do any of y'all at times play with like the producer role, like in general, like with the beat making and the process within itself, besides the lyrics?
Depending, yes. Like for instance, Don't Crash, track number 5. We actually made that song on the same trip, that same January trip in 2019, and it was like the day before I left too. So it was like our last day there. We were just chilling. We didn't really have nothing to record. We were just vibing. We were actually recording some of my music because this when Nikko got practice. But I was on Instagram and he's from Malaysia, and he was just like, "Yo, I like your style, blah blah." And he hit me up that same day, so I was like, "Yeah, bro, just send over some beats." He sent me over this beat, and it was a Don't Crash beat, and it was fire. But there was a particular sound that was in it, and it was just like killing the beat, bro. And me and Nikko were like, "Yo, like this shit is fire. If you could take out that sound, like we could fuck with it." So I emailed him, not expecting him to write me back. Bro, like 30 minutes, he gave me a new beat with the sound taken out. So then we were like, "Oh, okay, bet." So this is the thing. So then, we were working on it for a little bit. And Nikko at the time, not really being into hooks and melodies and stuff like that. I mean, he's a straight conscious rapper, as was I when I was rapping. But then I moved to New York, and I started having fun, and that it opened my eyes. So then when we were making the song, I remember telling Nikko, I'm like, yo, because Nikko's on paper, you can't really do anything. Me, I gotta get ready for the session. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go get my lick. I gotta go turn up right quick. So I told him, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna go smoke. I'm gonna go blah blah blah. I'll be right back. And when I came back, he had the whole hook for it, and it was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, but we definitely be having control of like our sounds and being close with the producers and stuff like that, just so we make everything a little bit more organic.
Them niggas creators is crazy, bro. Young, dangerous, dream, chasing, counting, faces, pockets not complacent. Young, dangerous, dream, chasing, counting, faces, pockets not complacent.
Young and dangerous, dream, chasing, counting faces, pockets not complacent, young and dangerous, dream chasing.